when it comes to handling personal real estate transactions, it can oftentimes be more complicated than when we're working with an everyday buyer or seller. So let's talk a little bit about what we call agent as principal. First off, what do we mean by agent as principal? So what we mean is a situation where the real estate agent is the buyer, seller, landlord, or the tenant, or a member of the purchasing, selling, or leasing entity, for example, an LLC or a corporation. Now, the very first thing that the Real Estate Commission does require for an agent as principal scenario is that the agent notify their broker in writing prior to engagement in the transaction. So, for example, if you're an agent here at Solid Source Realty, you could simply email broker at solidsource.com. We will save that notice. We'll also respond back with some FAQ just to help you as you are moving forward. Now, keep in mind the contract itself should also disclose that the agent is a principal in the transaction. There should be a clear disclosure, so a stranger to the contract, for example, could even look at it and could understand that that buyer holds a real estate license. And we also want to make sure that the license number that has been issued by the commission is also included in the contract as well. Now, one question that I will receive on a pretty regular basis is, do I need to sign a listing agreement if I'm going to list my property in the MLS? It's my own personal property. The answer to that question is yes. The MLS rules and regulations do require that before any broker enter any listing into the MLS, that broker has an exclusive listing agreement on file. To take it a step further, if we're going to advertise the property under a broker, for example, Solid Source, we would want to have a listing agreement in place giving the company permission to advertise the property. Now, I would go ahead and include a disclosure in the listing within private remarks that the seller holds a real estate license, just to help ensure that the offer that you receive down the road has the disclosure in it as well. Now, a question I will also receive from time to time is, if the property is not listed with a broker, are there any requirements for the advertising? And the answer to that question is yes. There should never be a time that a real estate agent is advertising a property that is either not under a broker or does not disclose that the owner holds a real estate license. Now, the Georgia Real Estate Commission gives us a couple of different ways that we can disclose that. We can clearly state seller, landlord holds a real estate license, or we can simply put Georgia Real Estate License Number or abbreviate that with GARE license number and make the disclosure that way.